Hey, what's going on everybody? Jason here. Welcome back to a new video. Today we are going to be ranking the top 5 worst perks in Black Ops 4 Zombies. Before we get into the actual top 5 list, I'd like to give one dishonorable mention to, surprisingly enough, Ethereal Razor. Now, Ethereal Razor is a decent perk, but the downside to this perk is actually the fact that you have to lunge into crowds of zombies in order to get one-hit kills and replenish your health. I get it. High risk, high reward, but it's not worth risking your life every single time you want to get one kill. Yeah, you have the swiping attack, but that's not going to do you much good. The swiping attack doesn't become as effective when the rounds go higher. So now that that's out of the way, let's jump into the actual top 5 list. Coming in at the number 5 spot, you guys might get mad at me for this one, but it's PhD Slider. PhD Slider is a perk that makes you invulnerable to explosive damage, slide longer distances, kill zombies with a fire slide, and have trap immunity while on the modifier. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. Jason, PhD Slider is great because of the Helion Salvo, so why is it on this list? And to that, I say yes, the Helion Salvo is probably the best weapon in Black Ops 4, and PhD Slider complements it very well. But let me ask you this, do you really need to use PhD Slider with the Helion? I would personally rather use Quick Revive or Bandolier Bandit to help me rather than PhD Slider. Aside from the explosive immunity PhD Slider provides, this perk is kinda useless to me. The only reason it's not higher on the list is because of the explosive immunity. The other abilities, such as being resistant to traps, is pointless, and the fire slide doesn't kill zombies efficiently after round 11, and sliding isn't as good as it was back in Black Ops 3, so overall, I'd rather use other perks than PhD Slider. Also, I don't really like using explosives when I play, so that was kind of a factor as well. PhD Slider comes in at number 5. At the number 4 spot, I have Blaze Phase. Now, for some of you who've been around my channel for a little while might notice that this could be a direct contradiction to a previous video I made comparing Blaze Phase and PhD Slider. In that video, I put Blaze Phase higher than PhD Slider. So my response to putting Blaze Phase lower than PhD Slider in this video is that in my perk comparison video, I was examining the perks at face value. I was pinning the perks up against each other by ability alone, with little to no outside influences such as the Helion Salvo that might weigh in on the decision. Yes, I did bring up the Helion Salvo and the Trebuchet and other explosive weapons, but I didn't let it affect my overall decision when directly comparing the two perks. So with that said, I actually kinda like Blaze Phase, but it's just not as practical as one might think. If you don't already know, Blaze Phase is a perk that when you crouch, you charge a dashing attack to slice through your way through hordes of zombies with ease. The problem with this is that you need to crouch in order to charge the attack. I can guess most people would get down by crouching in front of a horde of zombies, so I've had a slight change of heart for the worse when it comes to this perk. I like it for what it can do, but the practicality does not make this perk any better than PhD Slider. So in this way, Blaze Phase is just slightly worse than PhD Slider in my opinion, and it comes in at number 4 on this list. At number 3, this is actually going to be Mule Kick. I made a previous video explaining why Mule Kick is so underrated, and this video is honestly proof of it. If you want to check out that video, I'll leave a link in the description and a card in the top right corner so you can check it out after this video is done. Mule Kick is pretty straightforward. You can carry 3 weapons instead of 2, and the modifier is that when you go down, you can retain your Mule Kick weapon after you lost it when you repurchase the perk again. The modifier is excellent, and that's what makes it so underrated, but other than that, you don't really need 3 guns in Black Ops 4 Zombies, no matter what you're doing in my opinion. They pretty much fixed everything wrong with the perk in this game, but unfortunately, it's still not as needed just like the previous games. Mule Kick is number 3. Coming in at the number 2 spot, I have Stonecold Stronghold. Stonecold Stronghold is a perk that summons a blue protective circle while the player is standing still that provides extra armor for the player. This only applies while standing still, however. Once you leave the circle, you lose that armor. Now, you would think this is a camping friendly perk, right? But honestly, I can't figure out a good reason to use this perk in Black Ops 4. This game is a non-camping friendly game in my opinion, so using this perk wouldn't be as helpful. Yes, I know there are good high round strategies with the shield camping in a corner, but that's mainly Victorious Tortoise doing all the work. You could put Stonecold Stronghold on, but honestly, it's not going to make that much of a difference. To be honest, I was actually excited about this perk when Black Ops 4 was announced and when we got word that Juggernog would not be in the game. But alas, this perk did not live up to the hype. The modifier for this perk doesn't seem to do much either. If you don't know, the modifier for Stonecold Stronghold is that when enemies enter the protective circle, you do more damage against them. I tested this multiple times on multiple different enemies, and honestly, I see no difference in performance than if the perk was used off of the modifier. And one last thing, you can get armor from your specialist weapon every time you use it, and you don't have to stand still. So doesn't that pretty much render Stonecold useless? All in all, I would not recommend this perk at all, and it comes in at my number 2 spot. And last, but certainly least, at number 1, I have Death Perception. If you thought there was no use for Stonecold, then let me tell you, Death Perception is even more useless. Death Perception is a perk that allows you to see zombies through walls, while the modifier lets you do more damage to special enemy types in their weak points. Now that doesn't sound bad at all, but when you actually use this perk, none of it actually matters in the end. First things first, if you're a zombies veteran, you'll know where the zombies are spawning and coming from anyways, so you really don't need to see through the walls. Also, I tested the usefulness of this perk's modifier and it does virtually nothing. I see no difference in the amount of damage you deal to heavy zombies and enemies of the sorts. This perk is not needed at all in Black Ops 4 Zombies. This reminds me of a lesser version of Vulture Raid, although elements of Vulture Raid were implemented in Black Ops 4 through better perks such as Zombshell and Bloodwolf Bite. You could easily replace Death Perception with any perk and genuinely have a better time playing since there are way better options out there. This is why Death Perception is the worst perk in Black Ops 4 Zombies in my opinion. And that, guys, is going to be the end of today's video, and I hope everybody enjoyed. What did you think? Do you agree with my list or disagree? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button, subscribe if you're a new viewer, go ahead and join the Discord server so you stay up to date with everything that I do, and follow me on Twitch so you never miss another one of my live streams. And with all that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, have a fantastic rest of your day or night, depending on where you are in this crazy world. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys next time.